We're moving quickly towards the end of this year of mercy, this extraordinary year, this extraordinary Jubilee year of mercy, which Pope Francis declared in order that we may enter more fully into the merciful heart of the Father, and then be merciful like the Father to others. And this weekend, as we come together, we hear in the Gospel, Jesus recounts 3 stories of God's mercy, of God's love. It's beautiful. The first story, the story of the lost sheep. You've got 100 sheep and one wanders off. And the good shepherd, he goes out. He goes searching for that lost sheep. And when he finds it, he brings him back, carrying him back. And then he tells his friends, I have found my lost sheep. Rejoice with me. The second, we hear about this woman who's lost one of her coins. Now, I was doing some quick math with this, and it'd be pretty much like losing about losing a $100 bill. Now, if you lost a $100 bill in your house, you would probably light a lamp and start sweeping around, looking between the sofa cushions, looking to see if your kids had taken it. You wouldn't just say, oh, well, it's $100. No big deal. She searched and she searched. And she found it. And she rejoices. Because my guess is she probably wasn't that wealthy and that $100 was huge. And then in the third story, we hear about the prodigal father. What? The prodigal father? Shouldn't it be the prodigal son? No, I would say it's the prodigal father. A lot of times we don't know what prodigal means. We just say, well, the prodigal son, that means he's wayward. No. Prodigal means lavish. Prodigal means wasteful in a sense. Uses so much. And yes, the son is prodigal. He wastes his inheritance. But the father, he too is lavish. He wastes his mercy on his sons, calling them back. He pours out a superabundance on them. Beautiful. We hear about this father that as his son goes off, basically says, I wish you were dead. He then stands. You can almost see him drinking his coffee every morning at the door, looking down the road, saying, when will my son return? And then when he sees him a long way off, and as I was pondering this over the weekend, I was saying, okay, how did he recognize him from a long way off? Certainly not his clothes. That was a given. But maybe it was just his walk. He could recognize how he would walk from a distance. Maybe it was the smell, working with the swine. I don't know. My guess is his heart recognized him before his mind did. His heart was waiting eagerly for his son to return. And when he saw this figure in the distance, his heart reached out and knew it was him. And he runs out. He doesn't wait for him to come and grovel. He runs out, embraces him. It says he throws himself on his son. I think about some of my godchildren. They're wonderful. I love it. When I go to their house, the first thing they do is they scream, Mama! And then they come and run and jump into my arms. Oh, it's wonderful. Not the 17-year-old, the little ones. I can see the father almost doing that. He throws himself onto his son. He's given up all his dignity in order to have his son back. And then with the older son, who refuses to come in, he goes out to him as well and pleads with him to enter into his joy. Whether the good shepherd, the woman who'd lost the coin, or this father with his sons, the thread that goes through all of them is that God, the Father, seeks out the sinner This is the mercy of God. He doesn't just wait for us to come to Him. He goes searching for us. He runs out to find us. And when we don't want to come back, when we refuse, when we say, I'd rather do my own way, well, He accepts our freedom. He's not going to force us. But He pleads with us. He longs for union with us. Oftentimes, we turn away. Oftentimes, like that younger son in the parable today, we want our own way. We think that taking things and being the master of our own wills is going to give us happiness. And we go off. And he spends himself. And what do we see? He ends up in a famine. He is empty. Because you see, my brothers and sisters, we have this dignity whereby each one of us, though finite in and of it ourselves, has an infinite chasm within us, an infinite longing. Though we are finite, we were made for the infinite, and only God can satisfy us. And when we try to fill it with esteem or power or pleasure or things or whatever it may be, we end up in a famine and empty and broken. And I think about this younger son who in his famine, in his longing, in his desire, looking for something, as he's hungry, he falls into a depth he never would have fallen into. Note, he's tending the swine. Remember, this is a Jewish context. What do the Jews say about pigs? Not a clean animal. You don't go to a Jewish person's house and expect to have eggs and bacon. You don't do that. Bad thing. They don't, if they're kosher, they're not going to be eating pig. They don't want anything to do with pigs. They think that it's part, at least in that culture of Jesus' time, it was something to be separated from. And this young man, probably a year earlier, would have looked at this and said, I would never tend swine. And he falls to a depth because of his hunger that he never thought he would go to. Sometimes in our hunger, in our longing, we just self-destruct. But God is calling us and saying, will you come back? Don't you know, if you come back to my heart, I will fulfill your desires. I will give you what you long for in the depths of your heart. And he goes back. And the Father doesn't cajole him. He doesn't say, you better get on your knees. He embraces him. He restores him to full sonship. And you see, God says this to us. Just come back. Come back to me. Doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter how bad you think your sins are. Doesn't matter how far you've fallen. I pour out my mercy. I'm glad. I rejoice to forgive you. The angels in heaven rejoice over one repentant sinner. This weekend I was at a young adult retreat up in Wolfboro, and one of the speakers told me something about reconciliation which I'd never heard before. At reconciliation, at the center of reconciliation is the word cilia, which you think about cilia, like the little hairs on our eyelashes and things like that. And reconciliation is a turning so that you are eyelash to eyelash with God. Reconciliation is a turning back, and that we are right back into the heart, the face of the God who loves us. This is his mercy. He holds no grudges. He holds no grudges. There's nothing too great that we do that he won't forgive. He longs to forgive. in this year of mercy. If we've been away from the sacrament of reconciliation, let us run back to it. Let us go face to face with God. Let us accept with open arms the gift of His mercy, so that we can go eyelash to eyelash again with the God who is so head over heels in love with us, with the Father who comes to seek us out, with the Shepherd who comes to draw us back into the depths of relationship with Him, to the depths of His heart.